We are coming to you from U.S. Cellular Field in the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Adam Dunn, Gordon Beckham, Alexi Ramirez, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Joe Mauer and Ron Gardenhire's Minnesota Twins. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. We get set to bring you Game 2 of this four-game setting, Game 2 of this day-night doubleheader. In Game 1, we lost that ball game, but at one time we had the lead, Steve.
We had the lead late in that game, but early, it looked like it was going to be a pitcher's duel. Johnny Danks was throwing the ball very well. In fact, he wound up with 9 strikeouts. A good changeup. He had one of those. Threw some pretty good fastballs. And all in all, a season high in strikeouts with the 9, but he walked 5 guys. In the second inning, down 1-0, Paul comes up, and he ties it at 1. So things looking pretty good at that point. And then Alexi Ramirez steps up. This is in the 5th inning. And it's his second home run of the year. His first since the second day of the season. Now it's a 3-1 game. And things were looking very well because Johnny Danks had everything in control. But in the 7th inning, Nate Jones comes up, gives up a grand slam home run to Justin Morneau. That made it 5-3 at the time. Eventually, we go on to lose 7-5.
Well, we have a chance tonight possibly to see Garcia. Avisail Garcia is en route right now, and hopefully we'll get the chance to see him.
I think we will probably see him. He's not in the starting lineup, but he will get here, and they will put him in. And what we're going to see is a guy who was red hot at Charlotte. There's nothing he can't do. He can run. He's big. He's 6'3", 240. He can play some center field. He can play some right field. There's no doubt about that. And he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, which I think we're going to see quite a bit. Hitting .370, driving in 9 runs, that's not too bad. So hopefully he does get in the game tonight. I think that he will. And Rick Hahn was talking about him before the game.
Feelings of our player development people have only reinforced what we've heard from our scouts. Again, he's a multi-talented, athletic kid who is very aware of what finishing touches need to be made to his game, and he's going to get the opportunity to do that in Chicago. Again, you try it can be bittersweet at times when you see a player like of Alex's talent walk out the door and understand that it's been our underperformance that led to necessitating a move like that. And at the same time, we may be 6 hours away from seeing a player who could be a very big part of our future going forward, and that's a reason for some excitement.
All right, on the bump for us tonight will be Charlie Leesman making his Major League debut, 26-year-old southpaw, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Sox Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field on Country Music Night. Let's take a look at how Minnesota's going to line them up tonight. It's going to be Dozier, Carroll, and Morneau, and Willingham, Arcia, Colabello, Herman, Thomas, and Bernier. The defense and how they'll line up behind Charlie Leesman. Diaza, Cody, and Danks, with Gillespie, Ramirez, Begum, and Dunn. Fegley behind the plate. And we'll talk to you about Charlie Leesman in a little bit. We're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stoney. Thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over Comcast Sportsnet. And his first pitch in the major leagues is taken for a strike. Charlie, 26 years old, 6'4", 210 pounds. Haven't seen him since spring training, but he was voted the best changeup in our organization. Meanwhile, there was a fastball, and it's ripped right down the line. So the leadoff double. Dozier was 1 for 4 in the opener this afternoon. That also was a double.
Brian Dozier has made great strides. Not only a very good defensive second baseman, but he's starting to hit the ball consistently. And with Gillespie well off the line, he takes it right down the line. And just like that, it's a runner in scoring position, nobody out.
Dozier has always swung the bat well against us. It's amazing. And here's another guy that has really hurt us. 39-year-old veteran Jamie Carroll. He's got a job to do. And the fake to bunt takes the ball.
He's been around a long enough time where you'd have to figure out that regardless of how he does it, either a bunt to third, a bunt to first, or a ground ball to the right side, he's going to get Dozier to third.
Yeah, he's a 7-5 favorite to do that. The man knows how to play the game. That's one reason he's still around.
And probably at one point, if he wants to, because he knows the game very well, he's going to make a terrific coach and possibly a manager.
Well, he's a .307 career hitter against us.
Not surprising.
Three and 0 the count. You want to come back and get him. There's one. Charlie 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA down at Charlotte.
Perhaps on anything but his first major league start, he might have whirled and fired, and they might have had a shot at Dozier because Ramirez was standing on the bag and Dozier was still about 20 feet off it.
And they put it on him, so he cannot get the job done.
Not a very good at bat.
No.
He swung at a pitch down and in. Gillespie looks him back. The throw is off the mark. And fortunately, had him able to secure the ball and the tag. Seen a lot of first basemen get hurt on similar plays.
So here's Morneau. He was 2 for 5 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs in the first game. One of them a grand slam after we had walked the bases loaded. Had a 3-1 lead going to that. Outfield for the most part straight up. Breaking ball, and he was all over it. Thank goodness underneath it.
And Morneau is very aware that that was his pitch to hit. Not a whole lot of break on it, and it stayed down and over the middle of the plate.
Another one. He gone. 2 down.
His curveball a whole lot better in the first. Late breaking, out of the zone, and 1 out away from getting out of what could have been an early deficit.
So here's Willingham. He was 0 for 5 in the first game. He was just reinstated today. Has some knee surgery, I believe, is on July 3rd. Tearing the meniscus. As that breaking ball misses. Leesman, his major league debut, if you're just tuning in.
And he's got first base open, and the left-handed Oswaldo Arcia in the on-deck circle, so they'll be very careful with Willingham.
Gosh, last year hit .260, 35 homers, and drove in 110.
Our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Charlie Leesman. Those are the numbers at Charlotte and AAA. Made 13 starts, threw the ball pretty well. His ERA under 3.5. Not the best strikeout to walk ratio you'd ever seen, but left-handers didn't hit him very well. That's one of the reasons why he's pitching around Willingham here. But he's got the 3-0 green light.
And there's ball 4. So here comes Arcia. Oswaldo 1 for 5 with a homer, an opposite field shot in game 1. He's just 22 years old. He's one of their young guys they're banking on. And talking with Ron Gardenhire before the game, he said they've got some good young kids that are coming.
They're down in the minor leagues. I mean, way down. Byron Buxton, one of those young players that has star written all over him. Miguel Sano, another one of those young players. He's a AA. Buxton is an A. And they're 2 really good looking players.
That pitch just off the corner. And that curveball almost was a strike.
Well, did more than just buckle the knees of Arcia, but it missed the zone.
.2-0. And the count goes 3-0 to him. Chris Colabello on deck. There's one. If you miss game 1, we walked a lot of guys in that game.
And gave up few long balls.
Yeah. And a full count. Well, that series with Detroit may have taken a lot of the wind out of the sail of the Cleveland Indians. They're trailing the Angels 5-1, top of the fourth at Progressive Field. And the payoff pitch. He gone. So Charlie pitches out of it, strikes out a pair. And after half inning of play, their guys nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
It's Diaz, Beckham, and Ramirez at the top with Dunn, Viciedo, and Gillespie in the middle, and Danks, Fegley, and Tecote rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up. We had Liam Hendriks, Arcia, Thomas, and Colabello in the outfield, with Carroll, Bernier, Dozier, and Morneau in the infield. Chris Herman gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Liam Hendriks. Hendriks in AAA this year, 3.8 ERA, up over 5. 105 hits and 84 1/3 innings. Lifetime record in the major leagues, 1-11. He has faced our Sox. He's 0-2 lifetime against them. So it hasn't been the best of years for Liam Hendriks.
So the 24-year-old Aussie ready with the first pitch. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Out of Perth, Australia. Outfield straight up, spread out. And the count runs 2-0. Yankees leading the Tigers 1-0 after 1 in the Bronx. Tigers had the bases loaded and couldn't score in the first. High pop up left side.
The umpires for the game tonight. Mark Carlson behind the plate. Lance Barrett is at first. Dan Iasonia, the crew chief, is at second. And John Tumpane is at third.
And here's Gordon. Gordon 1 for 4 in game 1 with a double and a couple runs scored. Stay fair. Stay fair. It won't. 1-1 to count to Gordon.
Hendricks signed by this organization as a non-drafted free agent back in 2007.
That ball hit right on the button. But what a play by Arcia. And another hang whoopper for Beckham.
Gordon continues to scald the ball, but he usually finds somebody to hit it to, and Oswaldo Arcia makes a terrific play. He got a great break on this one, measured it all the way, ran it down just before the track, and took at least 2 bases away from Gordon.
That is so tough to do when you're going with your back to the plate and make that jump. He did it very easy. So here is, well, actually that ball, the fly ball into center field. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and after 1, no score.
Miller Lite.
And a reminder, great seats are still available for the remainder of the season. Prices have been greatly reduced, and the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, and post-game fireworks. Lower level tickets for all remaining Monday through Saturday games start as low as $20. And Sundays start as low as $15. So purchase your tickets today. WhiteSox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. Second inning. Chris Colabello, Chris Herman, Clete Thomas to face Charlie Leesman.
We saw how much power that Colabello had to the opposite field in Game 1. And when Johnny Danks tried to stay away, Colabello made him pay with a home run and a double.
That's up high. Charlie out of Cincinnati. And a breaking ball strike.
They've got some great amateur baseball in Cincinnati. Always have had. And there's been a lot of stars that have come out of there.
That off speed to change up, had him out in front.
Some of the guys that come out of Cincinnati: Pete Rose, Ken Griffey, David Justice, Barry Larkin, Buddy Bell. Guys who really understood how to play the game.
Yeah, all those guys you mentioned, they definitely knew how to play the game.
Just great amateur programs, and you get a lot of experience, especially as you get in these traveling leagues and play in these national tournaments.
Well, that's become an industry. He gone. One down.
Third strikeout for Leesman. Josh Fredley wanted it inside, and he got it right there. Good pitch.
So here's Herman. Hitting at 230. Couple of homers. 10 RBIs. Yeah, but those traveling leagues, I'll tell you, that's an expensive proposition. As I mentioned, that's become an industry.
It is that.
You can spend a ton of money if your child's on a traveling team. That is foul back.
Well, there's two high schools in Cincinnati that put out tremendous players. Moeller High School, which put out great football players and baseball players, and Cincinnati Western Hills. Don Zimmer, Jim Fry, Pete Rose from there.
Yeah, Moeller's put out some pretty good football teams.
Terrific. But they're kind of able to recruit a little bit, where Western Hills was the local guys that played there.
Well, you get a lot of high schools these days are recruiting.
Not a bad thing. I mean, you get in a great program, and certainly it gives you a terrific foundation for whatever it is to come, whether it's college or later professional ball, whatever it is, football, basketball, or baseball.
Most of the high schools down there in Orlando, they recruit.
They recruit? Dr. Phillips recruit?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, they get people who move from one district to their district. It's amazing.
I went back to visit my folks in Cleveland. There's a school on the west side called St. Ed's. It was during football season. They were talking about a guy that was undersized, couldn't play high school offensive line. He was 280. The line averaged 305 in high school.
Full count. Evans, there's high school there, and a couple of years ago they had a line that averaged over 300.
It's absolutely astonishing.
Yeah. Payoff pitch. He gone.
Pretty solid breaking ball. It's got some late movement. The hitters to this point aren't picking up the spin, and Leesman now has 4 strikeouts.
3 of them coming on the curveball. Clete Thomas 0 for 3 in the first game. I asked Gardenhire about Eduardo Escobar. He said, we love him. He said, we absolutely love him, but we just had to get him some at-bats.
It's difficult. It's very difficult to get a young player the at-bats that he needs to get better. You know, he's pretty good right now, and if they were a winning team, then they'd probably keep him around because he can do a lot of things. But if you're not a winning team, getting a guy enough at-bats where he can get better is very difficult, so you send him down.
Not a good swing by Thomas. Yeah, but they feel the same way about Eduardo that we did.
He's a terrific all-purpose player, and when the Twins get good, it's going to be a couple of years yet, he's going to be very valuable to them.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
This one could have gone either way, and it went Thomas's way.
2-2. Make it 3-2. Ball 4. So the second walk. And that'll bring up Bernier. Doug Bernier, the shortstop. He's hitting .241, no homers. He's knocked in 3. Gap out there in left center. Gillespie, even with the bag, off the line at third.
Josh Fraley going out and wanting to settle down, Charlie. I think Brent Gardner probably feels, after facing our club many times as he has, that we release all the right-handers and all we keep bringing up is left-hand pitchers. Because if you're the left-handed counterpart in a platoon system against our starters, you're not going to get much work.
First pitch strike. Well, this is the 10th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 9, Twins have won 7.
Our ball club has absolutely struggled against the Central. Now, granted, the top 3 teams in the Central got appreciably better over last year. But overall, 12-32 against the Central Division.
Two out, 2-1 to count. And that ball gets away.
Probably going to be a pass ball. Josh Buck, Charlie, in AAA. And it is a pass ball.
And a count 3-1 with Dozier, the on-deck hitter, swinging a solid bat. And Bernier with a catbird seat. Another walk. Back to back. Strikes out Colabello, Herman. Then he walks Thomas and Bernier. And here comes Dozier, who ripped a double on the second pitch of the ball game right down the third base line. They're playing him slightly to hit to right. Big gap out there in left center.
Well, the problem is that looks like Leesman's strong side is the glove side. Now Don Cooper is coming out to talk with him. With your strong side is the glove side, that's inside to the right-handers. Most likely he's going to pull the ball if it gets near the zone. Now Don wants to settle him down some.
Well, against us, Dozier's been a pull hitter.
Yep, he has.
The double, as I mentioned, right down the third base line. Double in game 1 was down into the left field corner. Base hits that he hurt us on in Minnesota at Target Field were to left. grabs the strike with a breaking ball. There, he turns that one over. Change up. And a count 2-1. Five more games after tonight left on this homestand. Tomorrow and Sunday against these guys. Then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the Tigers come to town. Ball hits sharply. But he pitches out of it. So they have stranded 4 through their 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Click. Man, Joe and the crew, they went with Beckham. Steve's going with Piazza. Glenn Blackwell, Steve Knight, Phil Manelli, Mike Ruff, Bob Siebert, Dow Smith, Mike Tatro, and I. We're going to go with the man stepping into the box right now, Adam Dunn. Adam 0 for 3 in the first game. Takes first pitch strike right there. Good eye. That ball hit high and deep into left center field. Stretch. Right back against the State Farm sign. He makes the catch. Another fine play. A fine play by Arcia.
Oswaldo, who's a right fielder. That's what he's done his whole career. Has had to shift to left with the injury to Willingham. And he's shown that he's pretty adept regardless of where they play. This ball wouldn't have gone out of the ballpark. It would have been at least 2 bases, but he went back, timed it well, took a pretty good shot as he collided with the wall and held on.
So here's Tank. Tank did not play in first game because of that sore left thumb.
When you get a hand injury of any sort, and you had a number of them in your career, do you change your grip at all to take the pressure off the area that's sore?
You do everything, you try everything you can try.
This is a very difficult thing to fight your way through.
You just try different grips. You try anything that will relieve the pressure and the pain.
Do you ever put that little padding either on your thumb or your bat when you had any of that?
No, I never had. We left that up to Rick Reichert.
He was a teammate of mine.
Rick was a strong guy, but he could get jammed.
He could. Get a standing offer. He told us when we got here, anybody that would fix him up with his future wife, he would give $10,000 to. He never had to pay off.
This is like the guy that brought his buddy to his house one morning and took him inside. His wife came down and she was irate. She had her hair up in colors, all with makeup and everything, as he strikes him out on a breaking ball. She said, "How dare you bring somebody in here without letting me know? You can't do that. Look at me. You cannot do that. Why did you do it?" He says, "Honey, because he's getting ready to get married." Here's Gillespie. Oh, and 1.
5 in a row retired by Hendricks.
With a little help from
A little help from his left fielder.
Yeah.
Right.
21 to count. Gillespie 1 for 3.
Well, the first game of the doubleheader, which started at 1:10, the ballpark was pretty lively. The ball was jumping out. And tonight it appears it's lively also, as it's 77 degrees with some humidity here.
Morneau can pick it a little bit over there at first. And that is 6 up, 6 down for Liam Hendricks.
Series right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as Jose Quintana gets a start for the South Side against Kevin Correa and the rival Twins. White Sox Twins, Sunday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's the top of the 3rd inning in a scoreless ball game. It's just 1 hit. That was the leadoff double by Brian Dozier on the 2nd pitch of the game. The 2nd pitch that Charlie Leesman threw in his major league debut.
Country music night, and a few of the folks wearing their cowboy hats, enjoying the music.
Jamie Carroll grounded out to 3rd, but the story was, which surprised both Steve and myself, Dozier was the second, nobody out, and he couldn't get him over. He had a 3-1 count.
Really set up the inning. It set up the inning for Leesman to get out without giving up a run.
1-1.
Much different philosophy for Morneau coming up there with a man at third. You know the infield's going to be back. They're not going to bring it in this early. All he needed would have been a ground ball.
That ball just ripped right by Beckham.
Looked like Gordon might have had some problems getting traction. This ball hit awfully hard. Now watch Gordon. Can't quite get there. Made a big effort, but the ball just eluded him.
So here's Morneau. Struck out on a curveball. Swinging.
We talked about it in the first game, the dilemma that the Twins will have. Morneau is going to be a free agent. One of the most popular players of the Twins. Been a productive player, then having all that concussion problems. And prevailing wisdom is they might want to bring him back for another year, seeing as they never got any offers that they remotely entertained.
Well, he's 32 years old.
Which should mean that he's got a couple of pretty good years left.
There's the strike.
Don't forget, he has not been playing in the easiest park to hit home runs.
Well, he had 4 straight years. 06, 07, 08, 09. Of 100 or more RBIs.
He was, well, MVP.
Yeah.
Very productive player.
Can't get that one. Yeah, that was in 06. Had 321, 34 homers, 130 knocked in. But it depends on which way they're going to go.
Well, it could very well be. Look, their talent, Hawk, is really young, not ready to come here
Gardy
yet.
thinks they got a couple that could help them pretty soon. He gone. 1 out. 5 strikeouts now for Charlie. And that'll bring up Willingham, who drew a walk.
It's almost inconceivable that you could tear down a complete pitching staff with an ERA close to 5.5 like their starters have, and then be competitive, even with some good young players. So I'm thinking one more year Morneau is not going to hurt anything for them, and they keep around a very popular player. But we always talk about a battle of bullpens. But if you're getting in that bullpen in the 4th and 5th inning consistently, they're going to get real tired real fast.
Come August and September, they gone. I'll tell you, but it's amazing. We touched on it in game 1. It's just amazing how many pitchers that managers use today. In fact, if you missed that first game, we used 4 in the 7th inning of game 1. There's a breaking ball strike. And the count 0-2. And I still, after the game, in between games, I was talking with Bob Grimm, and I told him, I said, I never played in a game where we saw 4 pitchers in 1 inning in my time zone. Very seldom ever see 4 in 1 game, much less 1 inning.
When I got to Baltimore, you couldn't see 4 in an inning because you had a pitching staff of 9 men, 5 starters. You only had 4 guys in the bullpen. You use 4, you use your whole pen.
I told you, that's how we used to gauge Orioles when they broke from Miami to come north. How many of these guys they got in the bullpen? If they had 10 guys out there on the pitching staff, we figured we had his. He gone. Another strikeout. If they came north with 10 pitchers, we figured we had a chance. If they came with 9, we were in trouble.
Well, giving their talented managers, and Earl was as good as any, giving them one extra move off the bench was tantamount to giving them maybe a half a run in a game, because they could outmaneuver the other team, and frequently did.
Well, another one of his strong aspects, we used to call him the 26th man, because he played the media and the press like a fiddle. He got them to write or say almost anything he wanted them to.
There is no doubt about that.
I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Joe handled press great in New York. Torrey, just about as good as it can be handled. But nobody in this game, the last 50 years manager, has handled the media better than Earl Weaver.
Well, that's one of the things that impressed me right away when I got over to Baltimore, was the media didn't talk to any players about anything. They all went first to talk to Earl. And that was an era when that didn't happen too often.
Right. Yeah.
Then they'd get whatever Earl would have to say, and then, and only then, when Earl broke it up, and there wasn't any public relations guys around to say, okay, boys, that's enough. Earl would decide when to break it up. He would break it up, and then they would go out to talk to the individual players, and many times get their reaction about what Earl said, as opposed to what happened during the course of the game.
High. Piazza. And that'll do it. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. Club here at U.S. Cellular Field. Gold Coast Tickets, you got a guy. Seth Sharon and his people at Gold Coast Tickets.
There were some great managers. I mean, we've talked about some great managers. We either played for them or against them. In today's game, who do you think's going to the Hall of Fame? And I'm not talking about Tony La Russa. He's going to be there for sure. I'm talking about the guys who are currently managing. Which guys would you think would have a shot at?
Torrey. Joe is going.
Yeah, Joe's going, no doubt.
Under different circumstances, Socha would have a great chance.
Well, he might manage long enough so that those circumstances turn around somewhat.
Yeah, they have to turn around from where they are right now.
There's no doubt.
Yes, here is Jordan. The guy's managing right now. I'll tell you, a guy that might have an outside shot at it if circumstances change a little bit. And he gets the time in. From what I've seen, talking about a young guy,
yeah,
young manager-wise, you got to really like what you see in John Farrell.
Well, I think John Farrell has a chance to be outstanding.
Yeah.
And he also is with an organization that will give him the resources to be outstanding, because they also develop talent as well as buy talent.
That is out number 1. That is 7 in a row retired by Liam Hendriks.
How about Joe Madden? Because he's averaged 92 wins a year.
Joe.
And they do it with very little, if anything.
Joe is, if he manages, for some reason, I just don't think he's going to manage a long
enough to do it.
I just don't think that. I think if he manages 15, 20 years, yeah, he'll go. But I just don't see him. And there are a lot of people who don't feel about Joe Madden the way that you and I feel about it.
Well, you look at the numbers and you see how many times he's gotten that team in contention with what he's had to work with, and you'd have to say, although he's the most unconventional guy around, whatever it is, he's getting the most out of his players, and that's what a manager's supposed to do.
Exactly. That's how you rate a manager. It's not so much on wins and losses, because you don't know what the talent level he has. It's how hard they play for him. But I've heard of discussions with some guys who've been in this game a long time. And all of the guys, that's popped up in center field, all the guys who are not big fans of Joe Madden all say almost exactly the same thing. Well, he's had great pitching. Well,
you're supposed to win with pitchers who give you 3 innings?
That's right. I'm just sitting there. In fact, we were in St. Pete the last time we were there, and I went down to the food room, and there were some people sitting there. I sat down and had a Diet Pepsi and listened to some of the conversation, and it was funny. I mean, so what? You can't win 90-something games a year unless you got pretty good pitching.
Earl Weaver averaged 98 wins a year. You don't think he had good pitching? 4 20-game winners he had on that staff
in the same year. A lot of people.
1971.
A lot of people don't know that.
4 20-game winners, 4-man rotation.
To Cody, this guy is making it look very easy. That's 9 up, 9 down.
New Cool Ranch Doritos, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Mas.
Top of the 4th inning. No score. Just 2 hits in this ball game, and they have them both. But, getting back to Madden, he just strikes me as the kind of guy, because he is out of the box so much, and I say that complimentary. I think baseball needs more guys that think like him. And he might be setting the trend in that area. But I think, he's just recently married. And I think he's one of those guys that'll one day just say, you know what, honey, we got plenty of money. Let's go get us a place in Borneo or someplace, some island.
That's a good spot.
Yeah. You know,
he's a car guy, though. He'd just as soon maybe move to Indianapolis than any place else because he is a fanatic.
Nothing
for
wrong
cars.
with that.
No, he's a car man.
He's so interesting that a lot of times you get a guy like him and he wants to, after he does something, does it well for a while, he wants to go on and do something else. And you know he loves what he's doing right now. But how long will it last? I would say this, if he manages 15 years, he'll probably get in the Hall of Fame.
There's another guy who's got a chance, and that's the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Matheny.
He and Farrell are very
similar guys.
Yeah.
One was a pitcher, one was a catcher, but they both have the same type of. There's a quiet respect afforded both of them.
Yeah.
They don't have to yell and scream because they don't, but there's no doubt who's in command of their respective teams. For Farrell, the Red Sox. For Matheny, St. Louis.
Yeah, they're both big, strong guys in every respect. Colabello struck out his first trip. 2-2 the count. And another foul. Hits the mound, slows it up just enough. And that is out number one. So that'll bring up Chris Herman, who struck out.
Six strikeouts already in this ball game for Charlie Leesman. When you strike out 6 and walk 3, and you're not yet through the 4th, you're going to be knocking at the door of 70 pitches.
There's a guy we left out that both of us ought to be ashamed of ourselves for leaving out, because all he does is fly underneath the radar.
Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
Bruce Bochy's terrific.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's been good wherever he's gone. He was very good in San Diego. Nobody realized at that point who he was. He's won 2 World Series in San Francisco, but he's a quiet guy.
Yeah.
He's not a self-promoter, and he plays on, he manages on the West Coast.
That 3-2 get me over. And it's a 1-0 Minnesota lead. Those 3-2 get me overs just, well, someday pitchers will learn that most of the time they don't work.
Third home run, 11th driven in. And Chris Herman unties the game. Our fourth home run replay. It's a roller. If you're going to throw a 3-2 curveball, worst case scenario, you walk somebody, but throw your best curveball.
They don't do it. They won't do it. They think just cause on 3-2, if they spin it, it's going to be called strike 3, or they'll swing at it and miss it. And they just have a habit of going a very long way. There's breaking ball strike. Thomas. He drew a walk back in the second inning.
Coming into play tonight, there were 3 teams leading all of baseball in wins. 2 of them pretty obvious: Boston and Atlanta, 70 wins. The third, the Pittsburgh Pirates, with also 70 wins. 70-44, those Pirates built up a 4-game lead over St. Louis. Atlanta going after their 14th in a row, and they get a big 5-0 lead over Miami in the 6th.
And there's a little flare on his way to second base, and Adam Dunn backing him up just like he should. So a little duck snort double for Thomas.
A walk and a double for Clete Thomas. That fastball away. There's no chance for Diaz anyway, but he had a number of guys in line to make that catch. Adam Dunn was in the infield, and sprinting from right field was Jordan Danks.
So here's Bernier. Doug Bernier. Good rip at that one.
Had his contract purchased on July 14th. And collected his first hit and run batted in with a double. But it took him till July 22nd against the Angels. Bernier did a pretty nice job in AAA at Rochester. He hit .295. 5 triples, 15 doubles, 41 driven in 92 games. Not bad.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Yes, he did. He gone. 7 strikeouts.
This is a biting breaking ball. Nice stop by Josh Phegley. And then he races out to get the angle to make the throw. The only problem with 7 strikeouts and 3 walks in 3 2/3 innings is you pile up the pitches, and he's about ready to deliver pitch number 84.
Dozier with that double leading off the ball game, and then he hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the second inning. But the interesting point you made about Bochy is he's been good everywhere he's been, and that's not necessarily the case. Just because you're a good manager with one team does not necessarily make you a good manager with another team.
No, but it seems for whatever reason Look around the major leagues at any one given time, and at least a third of the managers will be former catchers, sometimes a little more than that. And Bruce Bochy falls into that category.
This next pitch will be number 89. And we're in the top of the fourth.
Robin used 5 pensmen and a starter in the first game. Lindstrom, Veal, Jones, Percy, and Troncoso. They all followed Johnny Danks. John did a pretty decent job in that first game. Struck out 9, but he walked 5. Gave up 3 runs in 6+ innings. Had a couple of walks as he ran out of gas to start the 7th.
Another get me over. But this one stays in the park, thank goodness. Meanwhile, they get a run, a homer by Herman, and it's 1-0 Twinkies.
Our Sox traded Alex Rios and cash considerations to the Rangers for a player to be named later. We've identified him for cash considerations. So Alex Rios will join a team that most likely is headed to the playoffs, and there is Avisail Garcia. Got here about 18 minutes ago. Recalled from Charlotte. Have to change that bag. Vinny will see to that. And he should be in this ball game in the not too distant future, I would assume.
That bag is probably already left the premises.
You would think so.
So here we go. We trail at 1-0. Hendricks has retired everybody he's seen as Diaza popped up to left field, takes strike 1. Outfield for the most part straight up, spread out, close to being equidistant. Tries to backdoor him with that little slow curveball. Hendricks' dad was an Australian rules football player.
I love the refs.
Yeah. And you can cancel a post-game show. That boy Alejandro.
Tries to throw a little two-seam fastball in the outside corner, and Diaz winds up at first base. So we know that Herman can catch it and call it. We're not quite sure about how well he throws it, and this is a base-running situation.
That ball hit hard. But guess who? He has absolutely scalded it both times to left field.
Time now for the Ava Super Slow-Mo replay, and this was when Gordon came to bat in the first inning. Oswaldo Arcia, on the move with the crack of the bat, able to run it down, makes just a terrific catch, robbing Gordon of a two-base hit. He hit that ball equally as hard. It just didn't go quite as far. And he's 0 for 2 with 2 rockets.
Well, that's the crew's fault. They wanted to jump on a hot horse. And
well, don't you get anything for hitting the ball hard? You get it with a hearty handshake and a
hearty handshake.
That's
yeah.
it.
That's it.
Well, fortunately, I picked the first guy who was going to hit the ball out of the park. Or the player to be named later, as they say.
Lays off the breaking ball, wants to send out a big White Sox hello and hope you're feeling better. To David Frank Thompson. Big Sox fan. Get well soon, buddy. We'll see you at the ballpark. David Frank Thompson. Also a big White Sox hello to our good buddy John Guido. Arlington Heights Ford. John, a big Sox fan. Outfield straight up. There you go. Boy, I'll tell you, that was right on the money. Wow. Herman.
Throw was terrific because Diaz had a really good break, and I didn't think he had any chance to get him. But Herman came up firing and threw it right on the button. Got a great jump. Actually got a jump before he threw the ball, and that throw is there. Now, whether he got him or not could be debated. Dan Iasonia said he did. Pretty good call, I think. Without the great throw, he's out. Without the great throw, they got no chance to get him. It has to be a perfect throw, and he made it.
He's now 13 for 18 in stolen base attempts. Yeah, they didn't get much better than that.
That was waiting for him to arrive at second.
They got 13 for 19. That ball hit deep into left field. Stretch. He's back. Looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Go figure. He homers against Kansas City in the second game of the season. He homers against Minnesota in the first game of this doubleheader and homers in the second game.
Well, they used to call it a salary drive, but his salary is predetermined for quite some time. So our Ford home run replay, that one stayed up in the zone. And just like that, the game is tied at 1. Very similar to the opener.
And here's Adam. He went out deep to left field. There's a base hit. A solid shot back through the middle. And that'll bring up Viciado. Tang struck out his first trip. Lays off the breaking ball.
Well, Lexi said when questioned, and everybody questioned him about it, why the power outage, she said, well, I'm in the 2 spot, so I have different responsibilities. So today, twice, because of Rios being traded, Lexi's moved into the 3 spot. Maybe that's all it took all this time. Put him in a different spot. But it sure has worked well today. The unfortunate part is that Diaz was gunned down before the home run. That being said, big day for Alexi.
This is a bad one. Well, you got to figure a guy who has 21 home runs in his rookie year with us. He comes back with 15 and his 18 and 15 again. As he got him, you'd have to figure he'll hit some home runs, but he hadn't up until today. Meanwhile, we're tied at 1. Fifth inning, it'll be Carroll, Morneau, and Willingham to face Charlie Leesman in his major league debut. Carroll is 1 for 2. A solid single back up the middle as he takes first pitch strike. Gillespie eating with the bag off the line at third. That changeup, it's got a different motion with the change. I don't know if you can see it from down there, but up here you can see it.
Yeah, we'll just have to hope that he doesn't tip it down there.
Doubles him up with it and misses. And the count 2-1.
Ducote is very shallow and swung into right center for Carroll, who never had much power, but these days has a little bit less. Bounces that ball in the Sox dugout.
Yankees leading the Tigers 3-0, top of the 5th in the Bronx. Boston at Kansas City, top of the 4th, tied at 3. Angels leading Cleveland, bottom of the 8th, 5-2 at Progressive Field. Houston leading Texas 3-2, bottom of the 4th. Down in Houston. Atlanta 5, Miami nothing, top of the 7th, down in Georgia. 14-3, Oakland leading Toronto.
Between innings, Avisail Garcia making his first appearance in the dugout. Joe McEwing, Robin Ventura congratulating him, and I'm sure everybody wishing him a very successful tenure wearing that uniform.
Sucked up nicely by Gillespie. Morneau is retired. 2 strikeouts and the ground out now, 0 for 3. Yeah. Yeah, that young man has a chance to be in that uniform for a long time. So here's Willingham, a walk and a strikeout. Next pitch will be number 99. And the count 2-1.
Leesman overall has thrown it pretty well.
Well, he's thrown 3-2 get me over breaking balls, and one of them stayed in the park.
And the other one was hit a long way.
Yeah. Yep.
Right at the century mark.
He walks him. 2-out walk.
This is what Garcia did with the Tigers in 30 games. His 3 minor league teams pretty successful. And with Charlotte, 370, 9 runs batted in 8 games. Add that into a guy who can run, who can really throw, and is a good defender. And he's got a chance to be something special.
And he just turned 22 in June. Garcia, a strikeout and a pop up to left field. But he has made 2 fine plays defensively. Another breaking ball for a strike. So 2-2 the count with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. 1-4-0 for the Twins. 1-3-0 for our Sox. He gone. 8 strikeouts now for Charlie. We're halfway home, tied at 1. Boy, as you look at our Comcast Sportsnet tail of the tape.
It didn't take Archek long to get that pronunciation right on the button. He's a linguist.
He's awesome. I mean, just think about it. Just tell me one thing that he can't do.
Really? Just one?
That ball said, "Where's Sarah when you need her?"
It's true.
All right, 1 out. And send us your comments on tonight's game through Twitter using hashtag White Sox Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game. Might be yours. As here's Danks. One of my buddies yesterday in the off day asked me if seems like every time we draft somebody lately or make a trade is for an outfielder. And I told him, I said, when you can get a guy like Garcia, I'd love to trade for about 3 or 4 of them.
It doesn't really matter if you're getting good, solid players, because the way player movement is these days, number one, you have to factor in some injuries. There's some guys that's not going to make it because of that. And number two, you get powerful guys, because power's at a premium now, maybe more so than we've seen in many, many years. Get some guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark and have speed. You can get as many outfielders as you want, because you can trade them for just about anybody you want. And our pitching is pretty solid to this point.
That's why we're not that far away. 2 down. If you got to start with the pitching staff to build one, now you got a job on your hands. But when you can, and you touched on it earlier too, with financial flexibility that Rick Hahn going to have next year. When you don't have to worry about your pitching staff. And now you can just go for position players. You're in pretty good shape.
And you also have a #1 starter in Chris Sale for a long time.
And once again, Arcia makes the play. That didn't take long, and we're tied at 1. Time info, including pitcher gas gauge, stats, tweets, with Sox in-game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. Charlie Leesman, Major League debut. Gave up the home run to Herman in the 4th. Giving up only 4 hits.
But he's going to wind up well over 100 pitches as he moves through this inning. And with that in mind, the bullpen up and going.
Chris Colabello. He has struck out and grounded to second.
It's Ramon Troncoso throwing in the bullpen.
Two the count. Goes through that one.
Four walks, 8 strikeouts adds up to a whole lot of pitches.
Yeah, it's not counting the full counts that he's had.
Nope.
Good curveball strike.
Had some problems in the 2nd and the 4th. That one just missed. Same pitch he swung through. That time he took it. And Don Cooper letting Mark Carlson know that looked good from where he was sitting.
And another full count. And the dreaded leadoff walk. We've seen enough walks today.
Now Don Cooper wants to know if Troncoso is ready to go. With Johnny Danks, it was the 2 leadoff walks in the 7th. And Donnie Veal with a walk of Mauer to set up the Grand Slam home run by Morneau with it turn things around.
So that'll bring up Chris Herman, who struck out in the 2nd, and then here's what he did in the 4th.
3-2 pitch and a rolling curveball rolls on out of here.
And here comes Robin. So Herman must be a pretty good athlete because he went in defensively in game 1 in right field. But he's done a good job. Leesman has done himself, acquitted himself very well in his major league debut.
So as he walks out, Troncoso comes in, a standing ovation greets Charlie Leesman in this his first major league start. Big smile on his face, as you would expect, in a game tied at 1. Troncoso coming in. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Well, 8 strikeouts for Charlie Leesman, most of them on the curveball. He did throw 1 fastball for a strike, but the breaking ball was a pitch tonight, and he completely handcuffed these Twins. Our Honda call to the pen is Ramon Troncoso, who gave up a Morneau home run in the first game. Came on in the 9th inning. He's 1-3, ERA .573, on for the 23rd time.
High and wide to Herman. $23,804. So total for the doubleheader today of $41,243. Checks it up. Herman out of Tomball, Texas. There you go. He got it. Attaboy, Gordon. So 1 out.
Well, it goes 2, 6,
3, 4.
3, 4. And Gordon Beckham puts an end to all of that.
And with that, of course, it takes away any chance of Charlie Leesman losing the ball game.
He will get a no decision in this, his first major league start. And have a pretty fair ERA to go with it. 1 earned run in 5 innings. Not a bad job.
Andre Rienzo sitting beside him. Andre will be out there tomorrow on the bump against Mike Pelfrey. As there's the walk. So another walk.
Andre getting a chance to pitch at home. You know, his first 2 assignments were pretty tough. He pitched at Cleveland. He pitched at Detroit, 2 top teams in the division. Pitched on the road. Threw the ball very well both times. So it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that good curveball that he showed. And he threw some changeups.
Well, we've got a couple more down there, too. Eric Johnson. Okay, take your time, boys. Oh, bad feed, but Arnold Ramirez will get him anyway. Rack him up, and we're still tied at 1. $400 airline ticket with the U.S. Bank Flex Perks Travel Rewards Visa Signature Card. Apply today at any U.S. Bank branch. Bottom of the 6th inning in this 1-1 tie. 1-4-0 for them, 1-3-0 for us.
Let's take a look at the fine play by Ramirez after the bad feed by Gordon. Pulls him wide of the bag, but his foot stays on it. And then he fires across to get Troncoso and the Sox out of the inning. Nice toe drag, and no chance at all for that to be broken up.
Blake Ducote grounded out to second. Will lead it off for us here in the bottom of the 6th. Diaz on deck and Beckham in the hole. First pitch strike. 24-year-old Liam Hendricks out of Perth, Australia.
This is far and away the best he's ever looked against our ball club. Probably the best he's looked in quite some time.
1 and 11 lifetime.
Yep.
Stay fair. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. He hung it. He heard it. And Sox lead it 2-1. Keep talking, Stoney.
That was a blast. You love to see it. Second home run of the game. A Ford home run replay. And Blake Tecote just unloads on it. He waited back, got the changeup up and gone.
A hanging changeup.
Yeah, those go a long, long way.
So here is Diaz. He's 1 for 2. Pop-up. 1 out, of course, with the home runs by Alexei and Tecote. The Alex Nelius family will make a generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula.
Pretty happy young man getting a chance to start. With Garcia here, don't know how many more times he's going to be able to do that. But that'll leave an impression.
First pitch strike to Gordon, who was 0 for 2, was robbed of extra bases on a brilliant catch by Arcia. That was in the first inning. Then he lined a shot to Arcia, and there was a base hit into right field.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replays, and it's 2 home runs by Alexei Ramirez after hitting 1 all year. This is in the first game. That was in the 5th inning. And this got us on the board in the 4th inning, a solo shot that tied the game at 1. So a big day for Alexei Ramirez.
Outfield straight up, spread out. Ball hit hard in the center field, but 2 down. And that'll bring up Adam. Adam has gone out deep to left, taking Arcia up against the State Farm side. And then last time up, he just rocketed a single back through the middle.
The thing that allowed him that base hit was the fact that there is not the radical shift. No 3 guys on the first base side of the infield. Because that ball was hit normally where the shortstop would have been lined up in all of the shifts we saw early in the season until Adam started to hit the ball through the left side.
Generous call right there, and the count 1-1.
Usually catcher will tell you if he believes it was a good pitch. That time Herman did move it ever so gently back over the corner.
2 out and a 1-2 pitch. The last few weeks is the best top hand we have seen Adam have since he has been here.
51 games coming into today's action, and it hit 309. I mean, you're talking about a 2-month period where Adam hitting over 300. That's pretty good.
Well, when the top hand is working, that means the swing is quicker. That means the swing is shorter. When that top hand does not release like he's releasing it now, then the lead hand takes over and makes the extension slow up the swing.
More apt to get jammed that way?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The extension is one of the worst words you can get in hitting, and that's a word that is used so often, is extension. All extension does is get you a slow swing.
Slow you down.
Yeah, slow back. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's full. Yeah, the further that lead arm goes towards the pitcher, the bigger, the slower the swing.
Dan Viciedo, who's had a tough go of it against Liam Hendriks. And he on deck circle.
Payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Hendriks. Rick Anderson out. Two runs on 5 hits for our guys. 1 run on 4 hits for their guys. And if you're just tuning in, Charlie Leesman in his major league debut on the bump tonight. And also Garcia making his entrance in a White Sox uniform into that dugout.
There's Charlie. He will get a no decision for his work tonight. But he racked up a whole lot of pitches and held them to just 1 run.
Get away with that on first pitch a lot of times.
Anything spinning, most of the guys are going to take it. But they won't take it after that. Not if it's hanging like that was. He got the pitch there.
Yeah, he was looking for it, got it, and couldn't do anything with it.
91-mile-an-hour fastball. It was on the outer third and very hittable. But coming back off that sore thumb, maybe not quite as quick as you look at the line of Liam Hendriks.
Upper Tank Souvenir. Got another roller.
Hendriks has kept his pitches to a minimum. so there should be very little fatigue. 71 pitches. And as you can see, he hasn't had a lot of difficulty until this inning.
Tank has had some pitches to hit in this at bat.
He's had some high fastballs. They haven't been overwhelming, but that good rhythm to this point, it just hasn't been there.
Deep into left center field, but Clete Thomas makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. The homer by Ducote. We lead at 2-1, and today USAA would like to pay special recognition to all of our service members at home and abroad. In their effort to raise awareness of stroke warning signs and the importance of acting fast. So WhiteSox.com or 866-SOX game. Ramon Troncoso finishing up his warm-up tosses. Sox lead at 2-1. Top of the 7th inning. We led it in the first game 3-1. Going to the top of the 7th inning. But we walked the bases loaded, and Morneau hit a grand slam. So here's Bernier. Takes first pitch strike.
Troncoso now the pitcher of record. And he's got the bullpen up and going behind him in case he has some problems, as they'll head to the top of the order after Bernier.
Bernier from the same place, Robin Ventura, Santa Maria, California. Ball and 2 strikes.
Donnie Villa loosening up in the bullpen, who came on. He walked one and gave up a run. Came on to face Joe Mauer, couldn't get him. That loaded him up, and Morneau came up and unloaded him.
One down. And that'll bring in Brian Dozier. Dozier has doubled, hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice, and going out deep to center. First pitch strike. Well, we mentioned Andre Rienzo against Mike Pelfrey tomorrow. Make your plans to be here at the ballpark. If you can't, that game will be over Fox. That's the 3:05 start. Then on Sunday, Jose Quintana against Kevin Correa.
That one hopped over the screen.
That will conclude this series with them on Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, make your plans to be here because Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. 1-2. So that 3-game set, and that will conclude the homestand. And then we hit the road. 4 in Minnesota, 3 in Kansas City. We'll have an off day on the 19th in Kansas City, then the 20th, 21st, 22nd. And top of the 6th inning in Kansas City, Boston leading the Royals 6-3. Jake Peavy on the bump.
Probably looking up those 6 runs and fairly happy. Number 1,
well,
he's at the top of the heap, and 2, he's with a team that scores a lot of runs.
He didn't get many here.
No, he did not.
That ball into right field. Jordan's there for out number 2. And you can organize a group outing of 20 or more for a Sox game during the season and receive savings off the individual game ticket price. Enhance your outing by upgrading to our new Miller Lite bullpen party porch, our pregame patio party, a diamond suite, or one of our other great party areas. So 312-674-1000 or whitesox.com. The Bertucci boys, Bobby, Bruno, and Handsome Anthony. They'll take care of you. As will Vasilios. Still process at Bacardi at the Park. Carroll, 1 for 3, 2 for 4. He just continues to wear us out. So the 2-out single, and here comes Morneau, who is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And that'll bring Robin out to go get Donnie Veal. So he's made the sign. Ramon will depart. Donnie comes on, and we'll be back. Elvis theme post-game fireworks display presented by all the good folks at St. Xavier University. St. Xavier University, success with purpose. www.sxu.edu.
And our Honda call to the pen is Donnie Veal. He inherits Carroll at first. Justin Morneau up. Morneau so far had a very tough time against Charlie Leesman, and he'll be facing another left-hander.
Well, it's gotten to the point now. It started. That was one reason the Mariners won 116 games. It's gotten to the point now that the way the game is structured, the way the game is played, if you don't have at least 2 and preferably 3 left-handers in that bullpen, you're working at a disadvantage. Unless you've just got every right-hander out there with superior stuff. And that's not going to happen.
No, that doesn't happen very much.
Yeah, that year the Lou won 116 out in Seattle. Everything was a 6-inning game because he had those 3 left-handers out there, so he could go for the most part. He gave him 3 crucial hitters he could go to, left-handed hitters. That breaking ball is high and foul.
That ball hung right in the middle of the plate, and fortunately Morneau got around a little too quickly on it. This one rolled up there. Take a look at the location. Yikes. But count evens at 1.
Willingham on deck. And Lindstrom down in the pen. Then you better have 3 left-handers in that bullpen who can get a breaking ball over.
It's hard to find 3 good ones, but usually the good teams have them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There was the fastball.
Matt Lindstrom loosening in the pen. He threw a third of an inning, recorded a strikeout, and gave way to Veal in the first game.
There's that breaking ball. He gone. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-1. for our guys, 1-5-0 for their guys here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Second of the doubleheader, they took the opener 7-5. As I mentioned, we led it 3-1 going to the 7th inning. Base on balls, jumped up and bit us right in the behind. Gillespie takes a strike and the count 0-2. Connor is grounded out 3-1 and going out to center field. Fouls that back. And that 6-3 Boston lead over Kansas City. Peavy gave up 2 home runs, one to Justin Maxwell, one to Alex Gordon.
Well, he might be in the process of giving back some of that. Running into some trouble in the bottom of the 6th.
Tried to backdoor him. Well, they've got runners at the corners and nobody out. One thing about Kansas City, they will not quit.
They come into tonight's action 6 games over 500.
Change up underneath it. Johnny Danks on deck. Josh Fegley in the hole. Jordan Danks. Now feel straight up for him. Avisail Garcia is in uniform. What time did he get here, Mike Leary? He got it around the ballpark at 7:58. And a full count. There he is. He looks like a young Miguel Cabrera. Bigger than Miguel, though. 6'4", 240. Off the end of the bat. And it's going to fall as Colabello misread it. He'll take it.
He read the swing, and he took a step back and then froze, and the ball never got to him.
So here's Jordan. Grounded to second, and he's popped up to third. Jamie Carroll in on the grass at third. Anticipating a bunt. Kansas City has scored 1, still have men now on first and second, nobody out. 6-4. Boston leading. Big pitch coming up to 1-1. As he takes a long look down at Joe McEwing. Good take there. 2-1. Bottom of the 7th in the Bronx. Yankees still leading Detroit 3-1. A final now from Cleveland, 5-2 Angels. always the defining day or defining couple of games in the season.
Well, I think the Indians, regardless of how it works out, and maybe they wind up getting the wild card, who knows? I don't believe they're going to win the division, but well, think back to a couple of things. Number one, they can't beat Detroit head-to-head, but they will remember the first game with a 2-0 lead in the 9th inning of a 4-game series that they really had to acquit themselves well in, and just gave it up. That led to the 4-game sweep and put them 7 games back. Probably the biggest game they've played all year.
Yeah.
Beyond a doubt.
Well, you know, in 2000, our defining day was the brawl we got into with Detroit. That brought everybody together. After that, they just took off and played some outstanding baseball. Now we got swept in the playoffs once we met Seattle.
Did you have a defining moment in 2005?
There were several. I think the defining moment in 2005 was Ozzie. We were in Kansas City. We lost a tough ball game. And in fact, I went in Ozzie's office and I told him, I closed the door before the press got there. I said, Ozzie, these guys need you right now more than they have all year. Because Cleveland was playing magnificent baseball. They were really coming. They'd gone on from, as he gets thanks. Anyway, then I just turned around and left and went out the door.
Where were you at that point? Were you in the process of giving the lead back because you had a big lead? And then
we had a big lead, and they closed within, I think, 1.5. Well, after that game was over, when the press came in, Ozzie went on a rant. And from that time on out, they stopped going to Jermaine. They stopped going to Paulie. They stopped going to everybody. They go into Ozzie. The press started going to Ozzie. So it took the pressure off the players. And I remember talking to Lou. Lou knew what he had done. John McLaren knew what he had done. And they both applauded him for having the cojones to do that. And sure enough, he took the pressure off that because the media now wanted to talk to him after every game.
Well,
Players left the players alone.
It worked.
It worked. And we went into Cleveland and swept that series and finally won it by 6 games. But I think that was probably. There's a shot. Nice job by Josh on the hit and run. Josh struggling a little bit, so Robin's going to give him a responsibility. And he reacts very well to it.
Well, one of the reasons why he was struggling so mightily was that he tried to pull everything. Yeah. And on the hit and run, your job, because he's trying to pull everything, you got a pretty good idea the second baseman is going to cover, and he punches it into right field, putting runners at the corners, only 1 out. That's the unlikely ending is that it's going to take Liam Hendriks out of the ball game. So Gardy tells him good job. It's Thielbar coming into the game. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Bar. He inherits runners at the corners on for the 30th time. 2-1, .92 ERA.
Pitch hitting for Blake Tecote, will be number 26, Avisail Garcia.
So Garcia hitting for Blake Tecote, whose home run put us on top 2-1, leading off last inning. First at bat, Avisail Garcia.
Pretty stout numbers at AAA at Charlotte. He's a big guy.
Well, you know, he gets off a plane, he gets to the ballpark at 7:58. As he's looking for it, got it, fouls it back. No batting practice.
No.
Nothing. Been traveling, so puts a lot of heat on it. There's no question about that. But that's one of the great things about it. That's one of the rushes that athletes get, that adrenaline flow. Takes that one in the count 0-2. Don't look down there.
There's no sign for the 0-2 count with runners at the corners and 1 out.
No. Got him on 3. So 2 down.
Some high heat up and out of the zone. But you get ahead 0-2 and you can go up there.
Well, that's when the hitter is the most defensive on an 0-2 count. And when you're defensive, it's very hard to hit a high fastball up out of the zone. Mark Parent. That ball hit hard. But Lee Thomas, boy, we have seen some really good outfield play in the last month. First, we'll go to the 8th, leading 2-1.
Matt Lindstrom comes into the game. He's on for the 57th time, a 2-3 record, 3.48 ERA. And we've got a new center fielder. Abisail Garcia stays in the game to play center.
Josh Willingham. Josh 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. First day back for Josh after that tear in the meniscus surgery. Takes first pitch strike. Kansas City is now taking a 7-6 lead over Boston. They will not quit.
No, they knocked Jake Peavy out of the game.
Yeah. We got ourselves a 2-2 tie.
Eleventh home run, RBI number 38 for Willingham, who absolutely obliterated this ball. A Ford home run replay, fastball, inner portion, and long gone in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one of those right there that you very seldom get during the course of a season. That's one that you don't even feel.
That feeling I wouldn't know.
Usually during the season you might get 2 or 3 of them, but that's quite 3 is a lot.
But I do know the sound.
Yeah.
From 60.6. You can hear it. Just ask for another one because there's a ring to it that you can't duplicate.
Arcia with a 1-2 count. Well, there's a guy who probably had that sound on a consistent basis more than anybody, and that was Bad Henry. He had that sound that you knew it was him taking batting practice. As there's 1 out. Bad Henry error. Another guy that had that sound too was Carlos Delgado.
He had a quick bat. He had a very good career. Aaron's career changed. He was a line drive hitter, right center field hitter, and then later on obviously became a pull hitter. Started hitting everything out of the park.
That was his bat boy when he was in the Sally League. Visiting club bat boy. He was at Jacksonville.
He was pretty thin in those days.
Yeah, he was a little second baseman. That's back. Colabello 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-2 tie here in the top of the 8th. Kansas City now leading 8-6. As there's a ball into right field. Jordan will get it back in. Chris Herman, a strikeout, a homer, and a walk. Henry started his career off hitting cross-handed.
That's hard to believe. They didn't break his wrists.
Well, you know, back in those days, there were a few guys. Of course, they changed him when he got into pro ball, but there were a few guys that they hit cross-handed. I was born in a little town in South Carolina. It was a mill town. And they had, in the summer, mill baseball league.
Yep. Sponsored by the individuals,
right?
The individual mills.
Gaffney had one, you know, Spartanburg. I was born in Woodruff. Greenville had one. And they had a lot of guys. I used to go to the baseball games. And a lot of guys would hit cross-handed. I really believe that was one reason Henry developed his wrist the way he did. He was known for his quickness of his wrist and his hands. That's where he got his power from, because he was very slight in build, and the ball just absolutely jumped off his bat.
He was very similar in that respect. Thin, quick hand, strong wrist. Ernie Banks, same kind of hitter.
Yeah. Curveball strike, and the count 2-2. That's low. Full count. We've seen a few of those tonight.
That's a walk. He walks,
yeah,
so it doesn't matter. There's no play at second base.
Moot.
But for Josh Phegley, he can't wait around to wait for the umpire to make a call. He's going to make that throw to second base. That breaking ball missed, and it missed by plenty. But Josh doesn't know what the call is going to be, so he goes through with the play, as he should. He's out easily at second base, but it doesn't matter.
So, Phegley now to talk. That's the 7th walk issued by our guys tonight. We issued 8 in the first game. They won that game 7-5. We walked 3 in the 7th inning, and all 3 of them scored. One out, 2 on. 1 in. Curveball strike. Thomas walked in the 2nd. Doubled in the 4th.
With Bernier in the on-deck circle, they have Joe Mauer on that bench.
Totals on the board identical at 2-7-0. And the count evens at 2. Pops him up. 2 down. Infield fly rules called. And you can join the 2013 Sox Pride Club, the official online fan club of White Sox baseball. For members-only ticket opportunities, a special membership gift, and a commemorative photo, as well as exclusive perks throughout the season, all for just $29.95. Visit SoxPrideClub.com.
And it will indeed be Joe Mauer. He's just 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. Don Cooper taking the long, slow walk to the mound. Pedro Florimon out at second base. A whole lot more speed than Colabello. Garcia shading over well into left center field. And on a hard hit ball in the vicinity of Garcia. Should be an interesting play at the plate.
He can throw with the best of them. Breaking ball strike. Kansas City now leading Boston 9-6.
Bauer 0 for 3 in the first game with a couple of walks and a run scored.
Bauer's faced Matt 3 times. Now, nice stop by Gordon. Yes! What a play by Beckham. That'll work. Showtime. And we're tied at 2.
Of White Sox postgame live presented by Orland Park Nissan. Get their take on today's games on the south side and around the league. Don't miss White Sox postgame live tonight right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. A new right-hander in the game. It's Josh Renicky on for the 47th time. 2-1 record, 3.06 ERA. Few too many walks per innings pitched, certainly. So if The boys are patient in the middle. They just might work a walk. Chris Herman shifts from behind the plate to right field. You don't see many catchers able to do that. Pedro Florimon takes over at shortstop after coming in to pinch run. And Joe Mauer stays in the game behind the plate.
And here's Beckham. Breaking ball strike. Gordon's hit the ball hard all 3 times tonight. Robbed of a base hit on a beautiful catch by Arcia. The chopper. And 1 out.
Without this play, Sox are trailing. Mauer hits it. Beckham fields it and throws him out. Highway robbery. That's most certainly a run driven in, but Gordon Beckham had other ideas. So quickly 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And here's Alexei. He's 1 for 3 with a homer. His second homer of the day. He had 1 in game 1 and 1 in game 2. His other home run, that's 3 for the season. The other one, the first one, came on the second day of the season. Breaking ball strike.
Kept that ball in front of him and stayed right with it. That was a terrific play.
Yeah, it was.
As Alexei was hustling down the line, and without that big arm, he's got no chance of getting him. This ball with overspin, he stays with it, pours it across, and gets him by a half step. Good call by Lance Barrett.
Here's Adam. He's gone out deep to left, singled and walked. Low ball 1. One and 1 to count.
It's Addison Reed loosening in the pen.
Adams faced Renicky 3 times, has 2 hits. None of which stayed in the park. And the count 2-1. Ball hit hard. And now he can't get it.
Well, that ball was hit so hard that Dozier was able to knock it down and then couldn't locate where it was. Dunn continues to sting the ball. That ball hits the heel of the glove, and then Dozier loses track. Thought it got by him. It was in front of him. By the time he did regroup, Adams aboard.
So Adam 2 for 3. And here's Viciedo, 0 for 3. First pitch strike. Tank has faced Renicky twice, and he's 0 for 2. One to count. Oh, there it was. A little bit up, but he made a good pass at it and underneath it.
High fastball.
Gillespie on deck. So 2 out and the 1-2 pitch. Just a roller right there.
That was probably a better pitch he hit than the last one because that just came up there spinning. The Tank just hasn't had much of a stroke here tonight.
No, he's had some good pitches to hit. Couldn't do anything with them.
Got another one almost in the identical spot, only that was a fastball at 95. Everything's been up. Everything's been up when he's tried to go get him.
And he got him. So we're into the 9th, tied at 2. Got the Comcast Fundamentals deck here at US Cellular Field. So you can interact with White Sox trainers, run the bases at the wiffle ball diamond, and test your swing at the batting cages. So catch all the action with Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY to learn more.
Addison Reed comes in the game as Robin is trying to buy 1 inning. 4-1 record, 3.75 ERA. Been much better against the left-handers than the right-handers. But he'll be at the top of the order. That young man has the eye of the tiger. But unfortunately, he's getting a tremendous headache.
All right. Ball 1 to Dozier, who was 1 for 4, had a double. Charlie Leesman, way back when, started his major league debut, went 5 innings, giving up 1 run, 4 hits, walked 5, and had 8 strikeouts. Two and 0 the count.
Got to be careful here. Dozier is really showing some pretty good power.
Against us, he
Yeah.
has.
Actually, some surprising power at times.
That one he hit against us at Target Field earlier this year was way out of there. There's a strike.
Took that one on the outer third.
And that's foul back.
The two left-handers, Perkins and Dunsing. If Minnesota doesn't score, it'll be Dunsing. If they do, it'll be Perkins. They both pitched in the first game.
Stay in here. It will. That's a hang whoop on for Dozier. Line shot.
Dozier just shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout, knows that he hit that ball as hard as he could hit it. Just didn't quite get under it enough.
Yankees were leading the Tigers 3-1. 2 out. Top of the 9th inning. A man aboard. Cabrera off Mo Rivera. Center field. Put it on the board.
We depressed Mo.
Yeah. Prior to that, he had just fouled one right off his leg, his shin. He got a shin burger.
And then took it out on Mo.
Yeah.
That game tied at 3.
There's the strike. Carroll's 2 for 4. And Carroll, 307 hitter coming in against us. He's 1 for 4 against Addison. Carroll now 7 for 14 against us this year. And what new? 3 for 5. That'll bring up Morneau. He's 0 for 4. 3 strikeouts. Sandy Carroll just loves to see somebody out on that mound 60 feet, 6 inches away with a White Sox uniform.
You know, there's a couple of guys around the league that just don't do much against anybody else. And I'm sure other teams have those guys that our guys probably get out all the time that they can't get out. Jamie Carroll is one of them.
Ryan Rayburn, Jamie Carroll.
And you'll be happy to know that Rayburn just signed an extension with the Indians, so he'll be there for another couple of years.
Oh, they wanted him just to play against us.
I think
that's one of the stipulations of the contract. He signed a 19-game contract.
They get themselves a pretty good one. He's had a nice year for them.
Yes, he has. There's a good strike. Cabrera, that was his 34th home run. And he has all 3 RBIs tonight. He's got 108 on the season. And here it is, August 8th.
Pretty good pace. Not sure if he'll catch Chris Davis in home runs. He most likely will go by him in runs batted in.
High and wide. Morneau has faced Addison 3 times. He's 2 for 3, and 1 of them left the park. stay in here. Garcia back on the track. He just missed it. He just missed it. Thank you. 2 down.
That one almost went as high as it did far. It was a slider down. It was very close to his sweet spot. And he didn't miss a 2-run homer by much.
So here's Willingham. He homered leading off last inning to tie this game at 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Let's win it right here, guys. Let's do this.
Third of an inning in the first game, and he got the win. Ran his record to 5-1, the ERA 4.30 after the 53rd time. And he'll go through the bottom part of the order. Counter 1 for 3. Base hit leading off the 7th inning.
It'll be Gillespie, Danks, Fegley, and possibly Garcia. Want to know the count to Connor. That's into center field. 1 out.
That catch by Thomas off the drive by Diaza in the 6th inning. Rather, in the 7th inning, was a huge play as Jeff Keppinger comes out a pinch hit.
There are the numbers you just saw on Keppinger. 237, 231. Takes outside. Say that Miguel Cabrera. With runners in scoring position this year, He is hitting .434.
That's a ringing endorsement to pitch around him. But with the big boy up behind him, Prince, he's seeing pitches.
It's the first time he's ever had that kind of protection.
Yep.
76 points. He's hitting higher than the next guy with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .419 against left-handers, .343 against right-handers, .380 at night. That's fouled away. Hitting .386 at Comerica Park. And you know who's second in a lot of these categories is Mike Trout.
Not surprising.
A soft ground ball. 2 out. And here comes Josh. Abisail Garcia on deck. Come on, Josh. Get on for it. Takes first pitch strike. Josh 1 for 3. Way outside, 1-1 to count. Outfielder deep, spread out. That's popped up. Florimon, and you knew it had to happen. Extra innings in this nightcap of a day-night doubleheader.
Beef jerky all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side.
Dylan Axelrod comes into the game for the 24th time. 18 of them starts. 4-8 ERA, 5.25. There you look at the numbers. And he'll face at least 3 left-hand hitters. with Thomas and Mauer 4th and 5th. Garcia shifts over to right field. Diaz shifts over to center field.
All right. So, defensively, we got Dunn in left, Diaz in center, Garcia in right. Around the horn, Gillespie at third, Alexei at short, Beckham at second, Keppinger at first, and a battery of Begley and Axelrod. Garcia is 0 for 4. 3 strikeouts in the game. That ball hit hard into center field. Stay in the park. (3-2) Minnesota.
Garcia hit a home run in the first game. Now he's hit one in this game. Deepest part of the ballpark. 22nd that Axelrod has given up this year. Our Ford home run replay, and it's a bomb. Straight away center.
Way out of here. So here's Florimon making his first plate appearance. Checks it up. No, he didn't. Garcia just 22 years old, and they really like that young man. As well they should.
He's got a nice swing, and he's going to get stronger. And right now he can hit the ball out to any part of the ballpark, and what else do you want from a youngster?
And he can put some leather on you. We've seen that. And there's a souvenir left side. For our guys, in the 10th, it'll be Garcia. Then back to the top of the order with Diaz and Beckham. First 3, Alexei being the 4th.
They're going to have to do it against Glenn Perkins. But in a non-save situation, our boys touched him up in the first game.
Hopper. Oh, that's a nice look. Hawthorne Woods bounce right there. That'll bring up Chris Herman, who's 1 for 2, a couple of walks, a strikeout, and a home run. Keppinger will take it himself for out number 2. Three solo home runs for Minnesota. 2 solo home runs for us, accounting for the 5 total runs.
It was like that in the opener until we battled back with 2 in the 9th inning. Those are the only 2 of the day. Single by Diaz, double by Beckham, single by Ramirez.
Nice pick, good feed, but the home run by Oswaldo Arcia. We go to the bottom of the 10th, trailing 3-2.
might. And for the moment, this is a Miller moment. Garcia going deep. The difference in the game right now, it's 3-2. A Miller moment. That will bring Glenn Perkins into the ball game. Perkins having a great year. 2-0, came into the first game with a 2.05 ERA. But it's a 2.40 now. 27 saves and 30 opportunities. And he'll face the newest addition to the ball club, Avisail Garcia, to lead it off.
And the first pitch to Avisail. Good rip, just underneath it.
That fastball at 97.
He's almost a foot quicker as a reliever than he was.
There is no doubt about it, with some deception.
And the count 0-2.
He's also throwing 2 miles an hour harder in a save situation than he did in the first game when he came in with a 4-run lead.
And that hit him. He didn't want to do that. Ouch. All right, didn't get the elbow.
No, it got him right above that pad.
Yeah, it looks like it got him tricep.
Try to get it in. He got it way in. And that's a tying run at first with a man who can really run.
Boy, there's three big guys right there. Carroll, Boston, Garcia, and Morneau. So here's Diaza. Alejandro, 1 for 4 and was robbed of extra base on good catch by Cleve Thomas. Meanwhile, nice bunt, sacrifice, 1-3. And that'll bring up Beckham. Beckham 1 for 4, and he's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight.
He doubled off Perkins a few hours ago.
And that ball hit in the center field, right at it. He's safe. Good throw by Thomas.
Well, Thomas made it a whole lot closer than it should have been, because Garcia can run, and Thomas set up nicely, threw it on a fly all the way to Carroll. He's pretty deep.
Boy, he stayed underneath that throw perfectly.
If that throw was on the money, it'd have been real close. So one of our hottest, he's one of our hottest hitters, Ramirez.
A homer in this game. He's 1 for 4. In the first game, he was 2 for 5 with a homer and 4 RBIs as he fouls that one down. Come on, Alexi. And very quickly the count 0-2.
That's strike 3. We caught a tremendous break. He threw it 98 miles an hour, and it was perfect. Pitch tracks will show you that. Whew. Well, you never know what happens after that.
That's into right field. When it comes down, this ball game will be over. So a doubleheader loss. 7-5, they take the opener. If anything positive, we got Garcia up here in uniform, and of course Charlie Leesman, his major league debut.
Leesman threw very well. I mean, he was pretty impressive. The control wasn't great. However, when you give up 1 run and 5+ in your first major league appearance, that is a plus. And the other plus is Ramirez hit 2 home runs today, more than he's hit all year.
All right, let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is a 26-year-old southpaw, Charlie Leesman, in his major league debut. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor, me, Joe Groove, and for Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Frank Leone, Doug Bullard. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, the Orland Park Nissan postgame show with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.